You are watching the Doctalk show.
Among the diseases that are easily prevented through immunization and vaccination is measles. But sadly, we've got to learn that there is currently a measles outbreak in the country. We want to find out more about this outbreak and what's being done to control it. Dr. Immaculate, this measles outbreak that's disturbing many Ugandans, how long has it been?
This measles outbreak started in April 2017 in Kampala and Wakiso. And you know, when the city, the metropolitan Kampala is affected, you know that it is a good avenue for spreading to other districts in the country. So what we did, we conducted district-specific responses at the lower levels. And however, we kept seeing some districts progressively still reporting cases despite the interventions. Okay. Yes.
So now that the situation appears to be getting out of control, what is the next step now?
It's actually, some districts have fallen off the list with time, and the situation is in control through routine, because the backbone of prevention of vaccine preventable diseases is routine immunization. Having every child under 5 years go and get their routine dose. Okay. And that is being done. However, for a comprehensive approach to stop transmission of this disease and move towards elimination of measles and rubella, we have a planned national campaign, and this is going to be a major stepping ground and a milestone for the country, joining other countries in eliminating measles and rubella in the country.
A national campaign sounds very big. Maybe I could even ask the big man himself. This national campaign that's coming up, what exactly does it mean?
Yeah, the campaign which we are planning is arising out of the earlier situation. The large numbers of unimmunized children, which has accumulated over time. Now, for us to respond, we are going to have to, we have designed a campaign which is aimed at picking children from 9 months of age up to 15 years.
Okay.
Now, so children within this age range who are not vaccinated, who are not immune, we will vaccinate it so that we clear that backlog. Okay. And we continue our routine immunization moving forward on a more clean sheet, to say.
Okay.
And in the same campaign, we are going to be providing vaccination against rubella as well, because the epidemic which we're seeing is a mixed epidemic. We have, of all the numbers reported when they were tested, we found that 20% of them were all rubella cases. 35% of them were measles cases. The rest were non-specific skin conditions.
All right.
So we are having this campaign which will be aiming to clear this unimmunized group of children. And we, in addition to these two vaccines, which are mixed together, it will be a single injection in one bottle, in one injection. So it will be like we are giving one, but it is a combined one to deal with the two diseases.
Of measles?
Measles and rubella.
Okay.
And we are adding the third vaccine.
Also in that mixture of measles and
no,
rubella.
not in the mixture, but in the campaign.
In the campaign.
In the campaign, we will have oral polio vaccine. You may remember that the indigenous wild polio virus in Uganda, which was identified, was long, long ago, 1996. Since then, we have not. So, but we are under threat from the neighboring countries. The vaccination activities in Somalia, in northern Kenya, southern Ethiopia, is not satisfactory.
Against the polio.
Against the polio. In South Sudan, because of the insecurity, you cannot also be very sure of the coverage of immunization activities. In Congo, there is a circulating virus. Now, these are our neighbors with whom we interact intensely, and the risk of importation of polio into Uganda is very high. So, because we may not do much about their coming into Uganda, we need to protect the population within Uganda by providing immunization with polio to our children who could be vulnerable. Some of the children who might not have been vaccinated. So we are targeting, for that matter, children from birth up to 5 years. So the response, you can see the response we have planned is very comprehensive. Comprehensive to put an end to the measles-rubella epidemic, and also to introduce a new vaccine to deal with the rubella moving forward, and vaccinating against the polio to improve our community immunity, so that if there is any introduction, there is no spread.
Okay, so Dr. Immaculate, when is this campaign that is going to clear all measles and rubella and polio out of Uganda? I think people get excited when they hear there's a campaign coming. They know it is going to be for free. So when can they anticipate and expect?
Yeah, indeed, the campaign is free, and it is going to happen in all districts in the country. All districts, all sub-counties, all parishes, all villages. And as the program manager said, the measles-rubella vaccine is going to be targeting all children aged 9 months to 15 years. And we shall take this opportunity to provide a booster dose for the children under 5 years, because we are at risk. If you have an immunity gap of measles, it shows there is something wrong in immunization. So measles is an indicator disease, and we are ready. We also want to address the immunity gap due to polio, as depicted by measles. Okay, it's an indicator vaccine, so we want to be ready and avoid having importation of polio in our country. So this campaign is going to be, since by and large injection is going to be located at specified posts that will be designated by the districts, health facilities, and some of them will be in schools, in fact most of them. As you see, the under 15, most of that is the school-going population. So we want to ride on the school setup and ensure that in the first 3 days of the campaign, the posts are stationed in schools to ensure that we get 80% of the population within a short time, and later go to the posts in the community. But also daycares, nurseries will be reached by these teams. Yeah, although they are still under 5 age.
Okay. So it seems to be a lot of work which is coming up. I don't know if you really specify the date when the campaign will be starting.
We plan to implement this campaign from 16th of October to the 20th of October 2019. We want to reach 100% and clean, remove, interrupt this transmission, and pave way for introduction of the rubella vaccine on a clean slate. We don't want to have a congenital rubella syndrome baby 10 years from now by missing a child who is in a childbearing, who is in that age group.
So more about this campaign coming up after the break. Send in your questions on our social media platforms, that's Facebook, Twitter. You can also log on to YouTube, like and subscribe our videos. Always happy to hear from you. Send in your questions and don't go away.
You are watching the Doctalk Show.